following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
On today's show, Leatherneck football looking to go 5-1 for the first time since the 2003 season against Missouri State. We have full highlights from Springfield, Missouri, straight ahead.
And Macomb High football battled Peoria Manual for senior night last Friday. Full highlights are right around the corner.
And we have a very special guest in studio. He's been a coach at WIU since 1997. You won't want to miss our interview. Straight ahead.
Welcome to Local Sports Focus, a show that covers everything Western Illinois and Macomb High School athletics. I'm Danny Pratt.
And I'm Redrick Terry. On today's show, we have WIU football, soccer, top plays, and all the MHS sports coverage you can handle.
Let's begin on the football field. The Leathernecks came into Saturday's action at 4-1, their best start since 2010.
That's right. They look to defeat a Missouri State Bears program in the midst of a 5-game winning streak against WIU.
Let's go there. Xavier Rowe and company hyped on the road. Head coach Charlie Fisher getting settled in on the sideline, as he would say, ready to rock and roll. Steve McShane to the outside. He scores around the corner to put WIU on the board first, 7-0 early. And then why not get the Temple transfer involved? Jamie Gilmore here on the short pass. He was utilized in multiple ways on Saturday.
Absolutely. Let's go late in the first quarter. Nathan Knuffman from 33 yards out. He would set the pace early. That one is through, a 10-0 WIU advantage. How about Brody Lambert this time? Pressured. Here comes Steve Mercado, another transfer. He's in there for the sack. And then the Bears, well, they would dial up a trick play right here. Direct snap, Jason Randall, and he is loose down the near sideline. How about a 62-yard scamper when it was all said and done? And that set up this right here, the wide open pass to Furmanek, and Missouri State is on the board. It's 10-7 with 7:41 left to go in the front.
Final minute in the first half. Leathernecks seeking momentum before half, and Lenore is left open near the sideline. That's a no-no for the Bears. 6 seconds left in the second quarter. McGuire finds Zeke LaShore in the back of the end zone on his tippy toes. It would be reviewed, and the play would stand. 17-7 WIU at the half, heading into the locker room. To the third quarter, Lambert to Dion Holloman over the top for a 32-yard touchdown. 9:48 left in the third quarter. Missouri State right in there, trailing 17-14. The responding Leatherneck drive capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run by Jamie Gilmore. And there, wait for it, there's the touchdown call. 7:11 left in the third after that late called touchdown, Redder.
And after that punt was partially blocked, the next Bears punt, who got in there on special teams? You see Gilmore get into the end zone right there. Western was in control, leading 31-14, starting to feel comfortable. And then MSU, they're trying to claw their way back, those Bears. How about LaMarcus Stewart breaking a few tackles, and he is in the end zone. 49-yard connection just 2 minutes in to the fourth quarter. The Leathernecks and Devin Moore on the ensuing drive. There's a mishandled handoff, and it was picked up by Missouri State at the 22-yard line. Bears take over. They have great field positioning, and it led to this little screen pass to the outside. Zach Hoover, he's in for the score. His first career touchdown, and it made it 31-28, WIU holding on.
Following a long Knuffman punt down at the 1 with the end zone to his back, Lambert is picked off by David Griffith, but his knee is down before he could bust off a return to the end zone. On fourth down on that ensuing drive, Western can't make the most of the turnover. McGuire himself is intercepted by Cameron Price on an off-balance throw, and then the return. 4:22 left in regulation. And we go right here at Joey Borsellino. He lays out and makes an unreal grab on third down and 17 to keep the game alive. Less than a minute left. Devin Moore keeps busting his way into the end zone. Somehow he crosses the goal line. Western leads 38-35 after they surrendered the lead late, and then it would be sealed off by the Xavier Rowe interception.
How about that? And Leatherneck's Big winners over Missouri State, 38-35 was the final score. Another solid day for Lance Lenore as he racked up 142 receiving yards on the day. On the defensive side, it was a career day for Quentin Moon, who registered 14 tackles and a pick in the win. And Coach Fisher, of course, sat down with us on the field before the top 25 showdown against powerhouse North Dakota State.
I mean, they don't lose very much, so when they lose, you can bet it doesn't sit too well. And you know, they're well coached, they're good, they know what it takes to win. So I mean, we're going to get their best shot. I can tell you that. That's thoroughly what I expect. We want everybody to be out. We want our student body to be out and just be behind us 100%. And there's nothing like playing in front of your home crowd, and especially when the energy's there and the excitement. And we're excited to be home. You know, we've been on the road a lot here early on, so our guys always look forward to playing at home here in Macomb.
The Leathernecks will be back home in Macomb Saturday night at Hanson Field against the 4th-ranked NDSU Bison. Kickoff is set for 6 p.m. Of course, you can catch the action. We're a little partial on ESPN3.com.
That's right. On to high school football we go. The Macomb Bombers look to end the home portion of their season in style with a win over Peoria Manual. On the other side, the Rams were in search of their first win in 23 games.
Senior night at Macomb High School, one of the last times the seniors will be able to run through that banner. Of course, the boys of fall, and got to have the cups on the fence there as well. But Rams quarterback Tay McElroy, he was explosive on Friday night. Caught in the backfield, but he'll reverse it the other way. The Bombers student section still not impressed. 2 minutes into the ball game, McElroy loose around the edge. I know that looks similar like a replay, except this time he will score the first touchdown of the contest, and it would be 6-0 Peoria Manual.
There's Coach Steers sending him some signals, but that couldn't stop Riddle from finding a hole up the middle. There's another Manual score. They led 12-0. And now a goal line situation for Macomb and the senior Corby Foxell as he will break through from 4 yards out to get the Bombers on the board, trailing 12-8 after the 2-point conversion. And then McElroy busts some moves right here, break into the outside. It's a 25-yard connection when it's all said and done, and it's 18-8 Manual at the half.
Halftime, and don't just recognize the senior football players. How about the senior band members and cheerleaders, of course, getting a shout out for their time at Macomb High. Big man with the football alert, Corby Foxall, busts through, and then he would be rewarded after a 10-play, 6-minute drive. It is Foxall, another 4-yard touchdown rumble up the gut. 6:09 left in the third. Bombers right back in it, trailing 18-14 early on in the fourth quarter. Be Riddle to the outside again, this time from 4 yards out, and the Rams defense would hold from there.
The Rams were able to spoil senior night with a 24-14 victory over the Bombers. That snapped a 23-game Peoria Manual losing streak. The Bombers will close out the season on the road this Friday at Chillicothe IVC.
The dream continues to state for Macomb High sophomore tennis player Erica Dawson.
That's right. Following her performance at the Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin Sectional, Dawson lands herself in the IHSA State Tournament. Play begins on Thursday with Dawson facing off against number 2 seed against Alessandra Bianco of Chicago Latin High School.
The match will be played at Rolling Meadows High School with the time announced later this morning on IHSA.org.
Up next, Sports Focus, could Leatherneck Volleyball pick up their second conference victory of the season against South Dakota State on Sunday? We have full highlights straight ahead.
Also, can the Bomber volleyball squad get a 5th match win in a row? The senior night highlights from the hangar next. I think just working with everybody in the newsroom, everybody has such a great camaraderie. All the opportunities that I've been given here have just been amazing to expand on that resume. I try not to beat myself up on the mistakes I make because there's so many opportunities. Just giving that experience, and this is how I got to do things in the real world, is really what the broadcasting and journalism department has done for me. When you have a really good show and that everybody nailed it, I mean, that's one of the best feelings in the world.
I want to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Garrett Covington chose Western Illinois University because of the law enforcement program and the chance to be a Leatherneck.
Western has one of the best law enforcement programs in the nation, and I get to play the game I love. Whether I go pro or I go to law school, because of Western, I would take my success to another level. I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
Welcome back to Local Sports Focus, and we turn the focus to WIU women's soccer.
That's right. The Leathernecks were coming off of the always tough Dakota road trip. They wanted to get a much-needed victory against an Omaha Mavericks team that was still in search of their first road win of the year.
Let's hop right in the action of the first half. Emily Romero on the attack for the Mavs, sends it right in front of Lydia Holtman. She can't find the back of the net. It's scooped up by Jennifer Curry, who keeps the Mavs off of the board. Later in the half, good chance here for the Leathernecks. It's Ashley Kuhlman. Kuhlman is the other side of the pillow. She plants at home her first goal of the season, and WIU takes the 1-0 advantage.
And they would have it at the half. Let's go to the second half. Corner kick time for the Leathernecks, but Haley Shelton easily handles it for the Mavs. She finished the game with 4 saves. Later in the half, this is a great scoring chance for the Mavs. Lydia Holtman right here on the check. She'll find Abby Meter. Her shot hits the top of the net. Second chance for Holtman in front. It was knocked away by Natalie Seeloff, but she clears it away as well. Action-packed finish to the match for the Leathernecks.
The Leathernecks get back on track with a 1-0 shutout victory over Omaha. 2 saves for Jennifer Curry. That is her first career shutout of the season. For Ashley Kuhlman, her first goal of the season was the eventual game winner.
Well, this past Sunday, Leatherneck volleyball was back on the court and looked to end their 5-match losing streak in conference play against the South Dakota State Jackrabbits.
Let's go right into the action, of course, with the pink jerseys there for Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. Shaylin Greenhaw with a big kill late in the first match, and then it would be Shia Sanders teaming up here and would eventually combine for the block that makes the score 24-20 in favor of the Leathernecks. SDSU unable to get the ball over the net, and the Leathernecks will take match 1 25-20 as they keep battling. Let's move over to the second match where Claire Grove will get set up, and there's the kill. And SDSU, though, ahead at that point, 9-6. And then it would be Emily DeCon again trying to get it over. SDSU did a good job keeping it in play here, but just a little tap over, and Western takes a 22-21 lead. Ashley Beener hits it out of bounds for SDSU. The Leathernecks win match 2, 25-22. They're up 2 sets to none, Roger.
And this is when it got interesting. In match 3, there's a kill for Beener. Big block by SDSU. It was 20-10 at that point. Jackrabbits with the lead. And we jump right into the 4th set where right there, once again, how about that? Another shot there that would lead to a Western point. Eventually, another kill right there for Ashley Beener. That took game 3 from Western, 25-13. Now we're in that 4th match where Melanie Patnode will eventually get a tool, tying the game at 23 apiece. Things are very interesting here in this 4th match. How about Sanders and Riley Schumacher here? Eventually, they will team up and get a big block for the score, 25-24 Western, but they are unable to keep the lead as Abby Skurr got an ace in that match, in that 5th match, and then won overall. SDSU took it 15-12.
Patanode with 16 kills, 10 digs. Kaylee Simmons continues to dominate, being one of the top dig getters in the NCAA with 36, and the Jackrabbits take that in the 5-set match.
And despite the loss, 3 Leathernecks grabbed double-doubles on the day, including, well, Natalie Patnode, and you just talked about Kaylee Simmons, her 36 digs. That ranked 8th most in a single game in Leatherneck program history.
Tuesday night, senior night for the Macomb High volleyball team.
That's right. Before the seniors will receive the recognition that they deserve for their hard work, they will face off against an Illinois West High School at Washington High School. That's Illini West.
The Washington High Gym as well. A correction there. Senior night at the hangar before the seniors being honored before the match. Behind the back move by Brianna Grotz for Illini West to send it back over. Nice recovery though by the Bombers, leads to a kill by Jordan Hare for the first point of the match. Dig by Hannah Howard, and then Alex Nevey earns the point by tapping it over. Set point in the first. The return goes wide from the Chargers. MHS takes the first set 25-12. To the second set, the pace is set early as Chloe Farr slams down the kill. Let's move ahead to match point. Haley Coker ends it as she's done so many times this year, and she sends everybody home on senior night. And the final score, the Bombers take it 2-0. Courtney Thorman, 15 digs, Chloe Farr with 6 kills. Up next on Local Sports Focus, we have the longest tenured coach in Leatherneck Athletics joining us live in the studio. Who is it? You'll find out after the break.
You've got 2 minutes to grab a cup of coffee and join us back here on Local Sports Focus.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
I think what I love most about News3 is that we're really provided with a real-world experience. We're able to get hands-on work in news, and it's very similar to what you would find in a real newsroom, but everyone around here is really good about pushing you to be your best. News3 has really taught me to believe in myself and that if you work hard, you can achieve anything you want. News can sometimes be really tricky, and you have a lot of roadblocks. All of us hold each other to really high standards, and I think that really shows in our newscasts.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Local Sports Focus. Danny Fry here with the Director of Soccer at WIU Athletics, Dr. Eric Johnson. Coach, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, good morning.
So you heard that you always were here, men's soccer here since 1997, and then just heard the news from Matt Tanney last year taking over the women's program. What was the reaction there to be the Director of Soccer?
My reaction or the girls' reaction?
How about let's go into both, Coach?
It's a great opportunity for me. Coaching is what I like to do. It's my passion, and to have 2 teams to work with is a really good opportunity. I think the girls were a little bit worried because I've been a men's coach for so long, and they didn't know if I could coach women. But it's the same game, same methods, just maybe a little bit different twitch to it.
And how has that been? How have they eventually kind of bought into that plan?
I think they bought in, but you'd have to ask them. They hide that stuff from me pretty well, and but they do everything I ask. They're very coachable, and they're fun to be around.
For you, how is it balancing the time? I mean, obviously you have to rely a lot on your assistant coaches.
Yeah, I've got 4 people working for me or with me, and they're doing a fantastic job. And it is time consuming, but we work for a living, and if your living is your passion, it makes it a lot of fun. So it's working out well.
Is that where we're going to be on the road for one, but still trying to keep track of the other team? Kind of what's going on a game day when there's 2 games going on?
It's been, the travel is crazy. I was in South Dakota at Brookings for the game on Friday, drove back that night, coached the men on Saturday in Macomb, got in my truck, drove back to Fargo. I didn't make it quite to Fargo. I made it to St. Cloud, and then got to the game back in Fargo for Sunday. And then, of course, I took a furlough day on Monday and stayed up in North Dakota and did a little pheasant hunting. So.
I would say, why not at that point? That seems like a good time to do that. But talk about that men's team. A little bit of a slow start this season, but how do you think they're starting to adjust here into Summit League play?
Yeah, I think our slow start probably was the impact of Drew Whalen breaking his leg in the exhibition game against DePaul. And I think obviously we have players that can step in, and they have stepped in, but the mental part of losing one of, the returning Summit League Offensive Player of the Year, that really smacked the guys hard mentally, and they kept looking for him. Well, he's not there, so that took a little bit. We started slow, then we regrouped a little bit, we changed some things around, and I think right now we're clicking pretty good. It's a good team. They've got the opportunity to make the tournament. We've got 3 huge games coming up, starting with Omaha this Saturday.
Been here since 1997. Go through some of the Western heyday with soccer in those mid-2000s. What are some of the memories you remember with that team really kind of dominating the Summit League in those 2000s?
Yeah, it was. I think probably the biggest memory was beating Oakland at Oakland for the first time, and and I compare that to right now. We've got to figure out how to beat Denver at Denver, and so I remember probably that day that we did beat Oakland at Oakland. Everyone's celebrating, and I can't find the 3 midfielders. And I look, and everyone's on the field shaking hands, and the 3 midfielders are on the bench with their heads in their hands because they were so tired they couldn't talk.
But that was definitely a hard-fought win there. And, Coach, thanks for coming on this morning. Appreciate it. Coming up, we'll break down the week's 5 best plays. That's right. Top Cuts are coming up next. You're watching Local Sports Focus.
We taught him how to hit a baseball. How to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
My favorite thing about NEWS3 is you're constantly working with someone. If you're not going to work with someone, then your show's not going to go right. NEWS3 has really got me ready and prepared for the outside world. Traveling to do a tornado story, or if that even means traveling to Iowa to cover 3rd graders, I get to work with some fantastic people. It wouldn't be the show that it was today without the production crew, without our anchors, without our talent. It's really a team effort, and I'm beyond blessed to be able to be here.
Welcome back. A lot of exciting plays over the weekend, but we've had the best 5 for you this week. It's time for those top cuts.
At number 5, WIU women's soccer. Check out the heads-up defense. No, Coach Johnson was pleased with this. Natalie Seeloff clears the ball from the box to keep Omaha off of the board in Western's 1-0 win Sunday. A little pinball action with it.
And to number 4 we go to Western Hall on Sunday. How about Shia Saunders and Riley Schumacher? They'll get a big block to move the score to 25-24 Western, but they're unable to keep the lead and lose 31-29 and match 3 games to 2.
We're halfway through at number 3, Leatherneck football's Devin Moore. Those off-season squats are sure paying off. Moore fights his way into the end zone for the game winner against Missouri State, 38-35.
Number 2, let's go back to Leatherneck women's soccer. Ashley Kuhlman gets behind the defense, puts the ball past the keeper to give WIU a 1-0 lead. The Leathernecks, of course, went on to win by that score.
And at number 1, back to Leatherneck football, 3rd and 17 for the Leathernecks. Late in the 4th quarter, Joey Borsellino showing why he's one of the greatest receivers to ever wear the Leatherneck jersey. No regard for his own safety. He just wanted to win the game. Redrick extends and makes the catch in slow motion. His mom was pretty pumped after that, too.
That's right. Leathernecks will score just a few plays later and improve to 5-1 on the year. Well, stick around. We have a look at the upcoming week schedule for both MHS and WIU.
We've got more local sports focus on the other side of this break.
Hillary Dunn was convinced that Western Illinois University would invest in her.
My classes, friends, teachers, and activities have had a tremendous impact on my time here.
Hillary's passion for learning and helping others will lead her down a successful path.
Whether I choose graduate school or missionary work, I'll serve to the best of my ability because I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
I'd have to say it was just the fact that you can get involved right away. You walk in the door and you can learn all the equipment. And I've been able to anchor, I've been able to be a DJ on our student-run radio station here. I've been able to work any of the camera equipment and the audio equipment. The fact that you can get involved right away. Everybody's really friendly. They welcome you right when you walk in the door. And you report the news, but you can also have fun stories and hard news stories and conflicting stories, but yet you just get such a real-life experience here at News 3.
Well, here on Local Sports Focus, we want to inform you, our viewers, about the sporting events going on at Macomb High and Western Illinois University.
We end our show with a look ahead at next week's sports for the area.
Let's start up with Macomb High. They're starting to wrap up their fall sports season. The Bombers take on the Gray Ghosts Friday night under the lights on the road at IVC at 7 p.m. Then on Saturday, the cross-country regional takes place just north of Macomb at Spring Lake Park. That'll start at 10 in the morning. On Monday, the Lady Bombers will start in postseason at Limestone High School, taking on Manual in the first round of the IHSA postseason. And finally, on Tuesday for the Bombers, the girls swimming team is back in action at Macomb High Pool against Galesburg. That will start at 4:30 p.m.
A lot of big games, of course, with Western Illinois as well. WIU starts out their schedule Saturday at John McKenzie Alumni Field with the men's soccer team taking on Omaha at 1 p.m. Coach Johnson talked about how big that game is. Playing under the lights on Saturday at Hanson Field as you're fighting Leathernecks against the number 4 team in the nation, the defending national champion North Dakota State Bison. No excuse not to be at that game or watch at ESPN3 under the lights, kickoff 6 p.m. And on Sunday, the volleyball team is in action at Western Hall against the Denver Pioneers right at noon.
All right, yeah, that NDSU game. What a good game that's going to be. Number 4 versus number 12 should be very, very interesting.
It'll be a slobber knocker for sure. Pulling that one out of my $5 words there.
That's right. All right, well, thanks for joining us for Local Sports Focus.
We'll be back next Wednesday at 9 a.m.
And for more sports coverage, of course, join us at Live at 4. That's tomorrow, Thursday at 4 o'clock.
For Redrick Terry, I'm Danny Fry, and for all the hardworking people here at Local Sports Focus, have a great rest of your morning.